Streaming live on News8000.com. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
It is Wednesday, December 6th, 2023. It's pretty cold out there right now, but it's not going to be too cold for the rest of the day, right?
Right. You know, we are going to be warming up once again on the mild side. You know, our highs will be similar to the last few days, which was in the 40s.
Pretty comfortable.
Yeah, so we can expect that again today. And in fact, you know, Thursday and Friday it's going to be even warmer, if you can believe that.
I know.
It's
I can barely believe it. No, I can't.
It's insane here what we're going to be expecting over the next couple of days. We'll talk about that in a bit, but you can see some pretty cloudy weather spilling in now across the Coulee region from the north. Our temperatures, here they are, into the 20s, 27 in both La Crosse and Winona. Slightly cooler in Eau Claire at 26. Black River Falls, same temperature there. Sparta's at 25, a little cooler there. Viroqua at 27, Bosquabel and Prairie du Chien at 26 degrees. So as we take a look at your planner, the cloudy weather will continue through the day today. We start off with temperatures in the 20s as we saw, and then we warm up into the 30s by 11, and then by this afternoon we got upper 30s and lower 40s. We should hit the low 40s between around 2 to 3 p.m. I'm thinking. Still cloudy though, with a south to southwest wind motion at around 10 to 15 miles an hour, making it pretty breezy here, especially by the afternoon hours here today. So we'll have a check on that schoolcast again, plus another look at your full weather forecast. I'll time out the details as far as this next warm up here coming up and when we can expect this next cool down as well. Alexandra?
All right, Derek, we will see you then. Thank you. Time now for our morning headlines. The head of the FBI is warning the U.S. is facing an unprecedented level of terror threats amid the Israel-Hamas war. An intelligence report says the most likely primary targets could include churches, synagogues, and members of the Jewish community. Naomi Ruckham has those details for us.
Groups like Al-Qaeda and ISIS will likely use the Israel-Hamas war to increase calls for violence in the U.S. this holiday season. That's according to a new joint bulletin from the Departments of Justice and Homeland Security.
All the lights were blinking red before 9/11. Would you say that there's multiple blinking red lights out there?
I see blinking lights everywhere I turn.
FBI Director Christopher Wray warned senators on Capitol Hill Tuesday that terrorists may try to exploit the U.S. southern border.
I've never seen a time where all the threats, or so many of the threats, are all elevated all at exactly the same time.
Wray also pressed senators to reauthorize a program that allows the U.S. government to collect, without a warrant, the communications of targeted foreigners outside the U.S. But lawmakers on both sides have criticized the program, following revelations that FBI analysts improperly searched the database for information about people tied to the January 6th Capitol riot and racial justice protests in 2020.
We have absolutely no reason to trust you.
The program is set to expire at the end of the year.
That surveillance program can also capture communications of American citizens and others in the U.S. when they're in contact with those targeted foreigners. Back here at home, an Alaska man is dead following a crash Sunday night. According to the Vernon County Sheriff's Office, a deputy discovered a pickup truck that had gone off of State Highway 56. The driver, 43-year-old Paul Craig, was trapped inside. The truck was severely damaged, and Craig had to be extricated before he was pronounced dead. Officials believe he was the only person inside the truck at the time of the crash. It remains under investigation. A Dane County judge issued a ruling striking down Wisconsin's abortion ban. The judge ruled the 1849 law does not ban abortion procedures in the state. In a tentative order the judge issued back in July, she indicated she would rule the 1849 law only banned violent acts on pregnant women that would also cause a fetus to die, and that consensual abortions were not included in that law.
We're still really thrilled to have this resolved at least in Dane County Circuit Court, and are hopeful that the court's decision really instills maybe some confidence in other healthcare providers and systems around the state, and offers them the reassurance that abortion is not illegal in Wisconsin and that they can provide the full scope of reproductive health care.
Planned Parenthood previously resumed abortions in Madison and Milwaukee in September while they waited for the judge's ruling. Wisconsin Right to Life called yesterday's ruling, quote, truly disappointing for all Wisconsinites. Wisconsin Republicans may abolish the bipartisan Wisconsin Elections Commission. That commission was created in 2016 to replace the nonpartisan Government Accountability Board. The commission has equal Republican and Democratic members, plus Administrator Megan Wolf. Republicans tried firing her over debunked election conspiracy theories. Democrats warn removing the Oversight Commission before major elections would severely disrupt voting across the state.
People continue to look backwards to 2020 rather than look forward to 2024. And I think it's important that we focus on 2024 because we are 11 months away from a very important presidential election. We need to make sure that we've got a nonpartisan oversight. I think our local clerks need to have guidance that they can trust.
Republicans would rather hand election oversight to the partisan Secretary of State's office. 38 states, including Minnesota, have a Secretary of State who oversees elections. Senator Pfaff now has a seat on Wisconsin's Building Commission. The Onalaska Democrat joins La Crosse Assemblywoman Jill Billings on the bipartisan group that oversees state facility projects. Pfaff was appointed by new Senate Minority Leader Diane Hesselbein. The bipartisan commission oversees state building projects, but recently lost decision-making power over project approvals to the Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee. Pfaff says this shift has stalled projects like the UW La Crosse Prairie Springs Science Center. He hopes the commission can still influence getting that project approved in the future. La Crosse may soon see granny flats popping up in residential backyards if a proposed ordinance passes. Accessory dwelling units, or ADUs, also known as granny flats, are secondary housing units that share a lot with an existing home. The City Council's Judiciary and Administration Committee took up the controversial proposal last night. Supporters say ADUs would creatively increase affordable housing options in neighborhood settings, but some residents argue the 900 square foot units could disrupt the character of single-family homes. After divided discussion, the committee voted 4-1 with 2 abstentions to refer the ordinance for further consideration in 60 days. According to the CDC, more than 150 people die every day from overdoses related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Now, money is on the way to help curb that staggering statistic in Crawford County. The Fentanyl Drug Test Strips grant will provide 6,000 fentanyl test strips to the Crawford County Sheriff's Department of Emergency Management to help first responders respond more effectively to potential overdose incidents and save lives. The initiative is part of a statewide effort by Wisconsin's DHS to distribute almost 150,000 test strips and kits. Although you've still got a few more weeks to get that Christmas shopping done, many Americans are now starting to feel that familiar holiday stress. Whether it comes from concerns about affording those holiday gifts, discussing politics with your loved ones, or even dealing with those family members that you maybe just don't get along with. Health experts say setting boundaries before meeting for the holidays is key here. Mandy Gaither has those details for us.
It's that time of year again, but before taking on what the holidays throw at you, make sure you're also taking care of your mental health.
A lot of times we don't want to talk about boundaries because we think it's negative or that we shouldn't need them. But the reality is, healthy relationships have very good boundaries and they're very clear and understood by both people.
Licensed therapist Jody Baumstein says setting boundaries can be uncomfortable. So first, recognize your triggers.
Thinking in advance, is there something that regularly happens that doesn't sit well with you or that feels like a violation?
Before a get-together, Baumstein says to get ahead of triggers by making people aware of them beforehand.
In the heat of the moment is not the time to bring it up, because the reality is we aren't our calm, rational selves. We're emotional and we're heightened.
Next, if your boundary is crossed, have a plan. But Baumstein says to remember, we only have control over ourselves.
If somebody brings something up that you've repeatedly said is off limits, you can't stop them from doing it, but you can decide that you're going to shut down the conversation or you're going to leave, because this is really about you having peace and protecting yourself.
Baumstein also says it's important that your children see you set boundaries because it teaches them to do the same in their own lives. Still ahead on your morning news, a new study shows hair straightening products may be even worse for women's health than we thought. We'll take a look and tell you why the FDA wants to ban certain straighteners in just a few minutes. And 'tis the season for holiday tipping. After the break, we'll take an in-depth look at why it tends to climb with inflation and what the current rules are for holiday tipping. That and more just ahead. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. The Oregon Zoo is celebrating the birth of a black rhinoceros. What's remarkable about the birth is the rhino subspecies is considered critically endangered. The eastern black rhinoceros has been hunted nearly to extinction. Black rhino populations have declined by 96% as a result of poaching. And now there are only 750 of these creatures left in the entire world. That makes the birth of the rhino in Portland especially good news. The species weighs about 100 pounds when it's born. Don't go anywhere. Your consumer news at News 8 Now this morning is after the break.
Well, we continue to remain pretty cloudy across the area this morning, and the cloud cover will only continue to thicken as the day goes on. Right there on the satellite picture showing all the cloudy skies moving in from the northerly direction, and we're going to continue under this pattern, it looks like, as the day goes on here today. Our current temperature readings are mainly into the 20s. We got 26 in Eau Claire now, 27 degrees in Winona, and 27 currently in La Crosse. Sparta, you're currently in one of the colder spots, though, at 22, while Viroqua is at 25. So your zone forecast today will be showing that our highs will be reaching the lower 40s once again here today. So we're still kind of stuck in this mild-like pattern here across the Coulee region this afternoon. Some spots like Westby and Viroqua will probably be reaching highs around 38. Meanwhile, Soldiers Grove will be at 41. Lynxville also near that temperature as well. Check out Arcadia. You'll be at 43 degrees this afternoon. Meanwhile, Black River Falls and Melrose at 40 today. And across the Chippewa Valley, we got highs into the upper 30s, lower 40s. Eau Claire, you're mostly cloudy today with a high of 39 degrees. So your bus stop forecast looks like this: 24 degrees with those cloudy skies overhead, continuing to stay cloudy around dismissal time with temperatures at around 41 degrees. A check on that full weather forecast still to come next in weather.
In your consumer news this morning, tear down the picket line and throw away the sign because SAG-AFTRA is officially bringing their strike to an end. The Hollywood Actors Union voted to ratify a new contract with major studios. About 78% of SAG-AFTRA members voted to ratify the deal. That deal will run through 2026. It includes pay raises, expanded benefits, and protections from the use of AI. Overall, the new contract is worth more than $1 billion in new compensation. A new medication for weight loss is now available with a prescription. Zepbound is the weight loss brand name for Mounjaro, which was originally developed for people with diabetes. Clinical studies have shown people who take Zepbound can lose as much as 20% of their body weight in a year and a half. That's stronger than Ozempic, another diabetes medication that can also be used for weight loss. Zepbound can be prescribed to anyone who is obese, as well as people who have at least one weight-related health condition. New research shows hair straightening products could be even worse for you than you may have previously thought. According to a new study by the National Institutes of Health, the products may increase the risk of uterine cancer for women. That includes some shampoos, conditioners, waxes, and sprays. Hair straighteners increase the probability of getting uterine cancer by 50%. The FDA has proposed banning straightening products that contain formaldehyde. 'Tis the season to think about rewarding the people who help us all year long. But in recent years, holiday tipping has run up against inflation, record credit card debt, remote work, and much more. Karen Caifa is in Washington with a look at the new and old rules for tipping.
It's time for end-of-year thank yous to those who make life a little easier.
When it comes to holiday tipping, the easiest thing to think is that it's really holiday thanking. It's a time to say thank you to the service providers in your life.
Amid high interest rates, rising credit card debt, and lingering inflation, it might be challenging. But as Americans face more options to tip every day, Bankrate's Ted Rossman says they seem to be drawing distinctions with those they see more often.
Everything from complaining about the pre-entered tip screens to thinking that we're just being pressured too much and tipping has gotten out of control. I think a lot of people are separating that. Now, maybe some of it is that holiday cheer and and goodwill.
The Emily Post Institute has a full list of holiday tipping recommendations on their website, emilypost.com. Some examples: for a regular babysitter, up to 1 evening's pay; for a dog walker, up to 1 week's pay or an equivalent gift; for a barber, up to the cost of a haircut or a gift; for a trash and recycling collector, $10 to $30 cash or a gift if that complies with municipal rules; and for a handyman, $15 to $40 or a similar gift. But Lizzie Post says those are just guidelines. It's the sentiment, whether cash, homemade treats, a small gift, or just a card, that really matters.
You might not be able to afford to hit all of them on your list, and that's okay. You can always write a card stating your appreciation to anyone, and this is a great time of year to do just that.
That does it for your morning consumer news. It is 6:18. Time to check in with Derek for a look at today's forecast.
All right, thanks for that, Alexandra. We're looking at a nice quiet start here this morning. Now, the cloudy skies continue to filter in, though, and that's going to be the trend here today. Temperatures right now are at 27 and a south wind at 5 currently in La Crosse. Meanwhile, in Eau Claire, your temperatures at 26 degrees with south winds at around 6 miles an hour. So speaking of the clouds, as I mentioned earlier, you can see all of them now moving in from the north, which will continue throughout the day, helping to filter out that sunshine here once again. Temperatures are into the 20s heading out the door. 22 in Sparta, 25 now in Viroqua. Boscobel, you're at 26, and Winona, you're waking up to 27 degrees here. We'll continue to remain cloudy through the day, 37 by noon today, and then 42 at 4 o'clock. Now heading into 8 o'clock tonight, we're still mostly cloudy. Our temperatures will be right around 37 degrees, and our highs today into the upper 30s and lower 40s again. So very similar to what we had here over these last several days will in fact continue here today, with of course the cloudy weather here, as you can see on Sky Tracker. Maybe a couple of light flurries are possible up towards the Chippewa Valley by late morning around 11, but I think for the most part those chances are very low, around 10% or so, with cloudy weather conditions that will continue through the day today. And we will be looking at mostly cloudy skies even as we head into tonight as well. We may see a little bit of clearing in some spots, but I think for the majority of us, skies will continue to be mainly cloudy, which will continue into tomorrow morning. But I think after 8 o'clock, we start to see some clearing here of the skies. And in fact, we may even see skies turn mostly sunny at times as we head into tomorrow afternoon around 3 o'clock, along with a southeasterly wind motion. So the clearing skies along with a southerly wind, that should help really warm up our temperatures. And I'll show you that 8-day, what it looks like here in a second. And then for tomorrow night, we're going to be looking at some clearing skies here yet again for us to work with. So there is some good news in the forecast, and the fact that we'll see some warmer temperatures and some clear skies there heading into the day tomorrow. And in fact, highs could approach near 50 tomorrow and again on Friday, except the difference is Friday will be much cloudier though, however. And then we turn mostly cloudy again for Saturday. Our high temperatures dropping into the 30s though for the weekend. That's from a cold front moving in after Friday. And then heading into next week, we got highs dropping even further than that into the low to mid 30s under a mix of clouds and sun. Low temperatures mainly in the 20s and 30s. Alexandra?
All right, Derek, thank you. It is 6:20. Still ahead on your morning news. The University of Wisconsin-Madison Badgers football field is getting a multi-million-dollar upgrade. We'll tell you what the improvements are and how much it's going to cost after the break.
Busy night for high school athletes all throughout the Cooley region on Tuesday. We had some great conference clashes on the court. Badgers looking to make it 6 in a row as well. We'll have the highlights coming up in the Blitz. Welcome to the Blitz. The winter sports season's heating up and our high school athletes are busy. Teams all throughout the Cooley region were looking to put one in the win column last night. We'll start with some conference action on the court. Let's start with the girls. MVC battle at Central. Riverhawks playing host to Sparta. Central up 10 at the break. Summer Lonning adding to it in the second half. The seniors showing off down low. Home team up a dozen. Other end, Spartans staying in the fight. Tiana Lease banks it off the window for 2. It's back to a 10-point game, but the Riverhawks running away with it. Bella Masevich, count it, +1. Home team in complete control. And then it's the sophomore Alana Simpson joining the party. Nice touch on the J. Central cruises to the win, 57-41. Cooley Conference clash in West Salem. Panthers hosting Black River Falls. Pick it up first half. Little give and go action between Brindley Kelly and Sam Niemeyer. Kelly lays it up and in, puts West Salem up 6. And it was all Panthers after that. Off the steal, it's Niemeyer taking it coast to coast all the way. Panthers would go up 8. West Salem's D showing up last night. This time it's Kelly with the scoop and score. West Salem increases its lead. Panthers run away with it. They get a big conference win at home. On the boys' side, let's go to Logan. Rangers hosting Luther. Knights going to work early. The senior Logan Barr going up strong. Then later in the half, it's Adam Scriver splashing home the 3. Luther up 7. Then it's Scriver this time serving up a dime to Sinclair Bias. Backdoor, nice cut, Knights rolling at this point. Other end though, Rangers respond. Nick Jolly taking it all the way to the cup. He rattles home the deuce. That cuts it back to 6. Knights answer though. Again, it's Barr in the post. Count the bucket plus the foul. This one was tight all night, but the Knights hang on for the win, 58-55. GET boys in Toma last night taking on the Timberwolves. Early first half, Jaden Breesky using his size to his advantage. That's 2 for the home team. Other end now, Taylor Haney is going to pull the trigger on a quick 3. GET with the lead. Mason Brown with the ball now. Quick jumper from the free throw line right here. That's 2 more for the Red Hawks. And Brown having himself a night last night. This is just too easy. Brown lays it up and in. Red Hawks get a big win on the road, 65-44. Let's head over to Aquinas High. Blue Goals battling Mauston. The home team off to a hot start. Pick it up first half. Tanner Peterson, corner 3. You bet. Aquinas takes a 15-point lead. Then later in the half, Blue Goals on the break. Logan Becker ahead to Walter Burns for the score. Lead up to 17. Then with less than 7 minutes to play in the half, Blue Goals still bringing the energy. Cole Keppel puts it in. Aquinas in complete control. And check out the ball movement here. Becker wide open for 3. Yes, sir. Blue Goals win big, 67-40. Badgers looking to make it 6 in a row last night. They were taking on Michigan State. First half winding down. AJ Storr wide open. He's going to splash home the triple. Badgers up 11 at the break, and the boys in red were red hot last night. Connor Esijan tries the 3. He drains it. Wisconsin goes up 45-34. Then it's Tyler Wall going to work. Fadeaway J is pure. Badgers still in front. Then with 12 to play again, it's Wall. This time throwing it down. How about Wisconsin? Make it 6 straight for the Badgers. They get the win over Michigan State, 70-57. Bucks taking on the Knicks last night in the quarterfinals of the in-season tournament. This one was close in the third, but Milwaukee pulling away. Brooke Lopez knocks down the 3, makes it a 9-point game, and then it's Chris Middleton top of the key. Same result, lead up to 11. And check out this pass, Middleton right on the money to Giannis for the alley-oop jam. Bucks are heading to Vegas. They get the win 146-122. Milwaukee will play in the semifinals of the in-season tournament on Thursday. That's going to do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Thank you for watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back. The Program for International Student Assessment is reporting students in the U.S. may be lagging behind in math. They found the average math scores for American students fell 13 points last year. Another group looked at math scores over a 3-year period and found American students' average was 465. That's 7 points below the global average of 472. Officials believe the pandemic may have contributed to the decline in scores, but math scores have also been decreasing over the past decade, well before the COVID pandemic. The state of New York has scheduled the special election to replace former Congressman George Santos. That announcement comes just days after the representative was expelled from the House chamber over ethics violations. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced the special election for New York's 3rd congressional district will be held February 13th. A former UWL student is running for the La Crosse County Board again, this time though for a different seat. Grant Matthew announced he's running for the District 6 supervisor position. He was elected to the board as the District 5 supervisor in 2020, then again in 2022. He resigned from that role in September, saying he moved out of the district's boundaries. During his time on the board, Matthews served on the Economic Development Fund Board, La Crosse City Arts Board, and was vice chairperson of the Veterans Aging and Long-Term Care Committee. Badger football may be done tearing it up on the football field this season, but Camp Randall is ripping up the field literally. Work began on installing a $5 million heated field for the 2024 season. One reason they decided to upgrade is because it costs more than $100,000 for snow removal. Athletic Director Jason King says it also has to do with the new late season schedule.
With the new college playoff, there's definitely the potential of having home games later in the year. Those late season games can be pretty cold, and the field can become icy and hard and kind of slick.
Once graduation rolls around, crews will pause and cover up the field like they always do. They hope to finish the new heated turf shortly after that. The holiday train is chugging through La Crosse for the 25th time. Along with bringing the holiday spirit, the holiday train also helps communities along the way. At every stop of the CPKC holiday train, there's a boxcar, stage, and musical performances, along with, of course, a massive array of lights. The goal of the train is to collect food and funds to support local food banks and raise awareness of the fight against hunger.
It's just nice to have everybody come out and this time of year, the holiday season, and just bring the awareness that the food pantries need our help.
The holiday train made a stop in Tomah earlier and will keep its journey going throughout the holiday season. A La Crosse retreat center is recreating an iconic moment in the Christian tradition, the nativity scene depicting the birth of Jesus. The mural depicts the birth of Jesus at Bethlehem, known as the biblical incarnation of Jesus. Community members have been working on creating the scene. The Franciscan Spirituality Center hopes the painting connects people from all religious backgrounds.
I am a believer in Christ and the story of Christmas, and this being the story of the birth of Christmas of Christ is very important, and so yeah, it has deep meaning for me.
The mural is expected to be finished by December 15th. It'll be displayed on December 16th inside Viterbo's San Damiano Chapel. The public is welcome to help paint the nativity mural. You can stop by Franciscan Spirituality Center weekdays between 8 and 4. An Eau Claire family is getting quite the holiday surprise. Amy and Joe are both Navy veterans who moved to Eau Claire with their toddler to support Amy's parents. Her father entered hospice care this week due to cancer, and this will likely be the last time the family gets to celebrate the holidays together. In honor of Amy and Joe's military service and their commitment to serving others, Eau Claire's Christmas decor decided to decorate Amy's parents' house for the holidays.
It's really special to just be able to be a part of that. It's definitely something that they're going to remember for a very long time. So just the fact that we got to be a part of that, that's the most special thing for us.
The group behind the decoration says they hope this surprise helps the family create a very special memory. It is 6:35. Here's Derek to tell us what to expect for our morning commute.
All right, for that, Alexandra, we are looking at some cloudy weather conditions here to start us off this morning for your morning commute, and things stay pretty mild as we head into your lunch hour as well, with the cloudy weather expected to continue as we head into the evening hour commute. So pretty much the moral of the story is the cloudy weather doesn't quit. We got temperatures right now into the 20s across the area, 27 degrees in both Winona and La Crosse, but much colder in Sparta. You're currently at 22 degrees underneath, again, the thick shield of the clouds that continue to move through. We're looking at highs today at 42 under those mostly cloudy skies. So a mild day, southwest winds at 10 to 15. Heading into tonight, those winds subside here a bit, around 5 to 10, coming from the south-southwest. 30 degrees and mostly cloudy, which makes it still a little bit mild here at night for this time of year as well. I'll have a final check on your full weather forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
Sadly, no birthdays that we're announcing here today, but if you are celebrating a birthday, happy birthday to you.
Yeah, and if you do know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we would love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for that Submit Pictures button underneath the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We'll have the president and CEO of VARC with us in studio to talk about their upcoming New Year's Eve gala when we come back.
Skies are starting to look a little cloudy here this morning as expected, as you can see there from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse. Our temperatures in La Crosse, by the way, currently at 27 degrees. Our winds are coming up from the south at around 5 miles an hour. In Eau Claire, your temperature's at 26 degrees with south winds at around 6 miles an hour here for you across much of the Chippewa Valley. A lot of cloud cover here spilling in across the Coulee region from the north. That is going to be the trend here today. Our current temperatures as you head out the door are currently well into the 20s across the area. So as we go through the day, skies will unfortunately stay cloudy. Temperatures warming up into the mid-30s by noon, lower 40s by 4. Then we're back in the 30s again as we wrap up the day heading into early on this evening by 8 o'clock tonight with our forecast high numbers mainly into the upper 30s. But a lot of us, or at least a handful of locations, especially across our central communities, will be pushing your highs around 40 degrees or so. Cloudy skies again on Sky Tracker. There you can see along with that south wind here. We're going to be looking at maybe a slight chance of a snow flurry or two. Those chances are very light though, at around 10% up towards the Chippewa Valley, while the rest of us in general will continue to remain cloudy. The same story continues as we head throughout the rest of your day today. By tonight, mostly cloudy weather conditions will continue to prevail. We may see a little bit of some clearing across portions of the area tonight, but otherwise expect mainly cloudy weather to continue through early tomorrow. Now here's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Notice how we start to see some clearing across portions of our western communities. That trend will continue, which is the good news, along with a southeast wind motion. So some clearing skies along with a southerly wind profile, that should help warm up our temperatures quite a bit, and I'll talk about that on the 8-day forecast coming up shortly. But you can see heading into tomorrow night, still that southerly wind profile along with some clear weather conditions in sight. But that does change, so as we head into Friday, we will be looking at some cloudier weather there by the end of this work week. But the good news for tomorrow and Friday is that our highs will be warming up into the upper 40s, I should say, to the lower 50s, that is. And then by this weekend, we do have temperatures dropping and back into the 30s. That's from a cold front moving in from Friday to help cool us down there. And then heading into next week, our highs will be into the low to mid 30s under a mix of clouds and sun, so much cooler there, and our lows into the 20s and low 30s.
All right, Derek. Well, this morning we are excited to have the president and CEO of the Vernon Area Rehabilitation Center, also known as VARC, Elizabeth Filter, with us in studio. You're here to talk about the upcoming New Year's Eve Gala. So thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, just start by telling us a little bit about the New Year's Eve Gala, when it is. I assume it's on New Year's Eve.
It is. You're right. Yes, it's the second annual New Year's Eve Gala that we are hosting. It is. It starts at 6 p.m. at the Cargill Room at the Waterfront Restaurant, and so we have a whole very special evening planned for New Year's to celebrate entering into 2024 and get people excited about what we're doing here at VARC.
Well, it sounds like fun. So those that are not familiar with VARC, can you tell us more about the organization?
Absolutely. So traditionally we have provided support services in the realms of employment and day programming for adults with disabilities. And in 2018 we started providing youth programming here in La Crosse for kids with varying abilities as well as for those children with mental health support needs. And so it's evolved over time, and we serve just under 1,000 people annually with the addition of our youth program and our preschool child care center that we opened just this year.
All right, great. So how does this event help support that mission? That sounds like it's a growing mission, right?
It is. So we've diversified who it is that we support over the years, and this is our very first fundraising event that we've ever created, and the original intent was to host it in 2020, and of course that didn't happen. So last year was the first time that we were able to host it, and it was very successful, and the proceeds are supporting directly the programming for youth in the La Crosse area with varying abilities.
So we understand there'll be some music and some fireworks at the event going on. So what else can attendees expect too?
Yeah, so we have a really great auction lined up. Of course, the 3-course meal provided by the Waterfront, which is exquisite. We have a champagne tower when folks are walking in, and wine served through the dinner. Of course, the Greg Balfany Jazz Quartet is new to our event this year. As you mentioned, the private fireworks show, and this year we are very excited to have announced that we have DJ 47 returning, and that is Travis Beckham. And for those who are sports fans. He is a Badger Hall of Famer and a Super Bowl champ.
Wow.
So we're excited to have him. He threw a great party for us last year.
Nice.
He's going to do it again.
Yeah, sounds very fun. And so the event is open to the public, right?
It is.
Okay, so where can people get their tickets, maybe get more information if they're wondering?
Yep, all of that information is on our website. Tickets are now available, open to the public, as you had stated. We did decide to open up more tickets to be available this year because of how successful it was last year, and we do anticipate that it will sell out early. Tickets are selling much faster than they did last year, so I would encourage folks to check out our website and look at what tickets are available today and do that quickly.
And are there any other ways that people can kind of get involved in your organization, maybe ways to volunteer or something like that?
Yeah, we do have volunteer opportunities at VARC, both in our youth programs as well as in our adult services. We partner with a variety of businesses providing employment opportunities for folks with disabilities. So that's a great way for businesses to be engaged with VARC and provide some opportunities for folks in this community to learn about what they do and what their businesses can provide. But we're always open to new ideas as well. We partner with all kinds of folks in lots of communities, including La Crosse and the surrounding area. So we're always happy to hear what ideas people have.
All right, and so why would you encourage someone who maybe hasn't heard of VARC, maybe hasn't supported the organization in the past, why would you encourage them to attend this gala?
Yeah, well, besides it being a fantastic event that is not really held in the New Year's time frame any longer in La Crosse, and it being really elevated. It's a black tie event, really great dinner, the fireworks. You also get an opportunity to learn about what VARC's mission is and what the contributions of folks with disabilities are in this community. So we talk a little bit about that as well and help showcase what we do.
All right, well, sounds like a very fun time,
Yeah.
delicious time.
When I hear the fireworks, I know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll know. But yeah, it sounds amazing. So anything else that you want viewers out there to know about the event or about VARC in general?
Nope, it's as I mentioned, it's a black tie event. So, but you know, we also encourage people to just come as they feel comfortable. You know, get that dress dusted off. Get your date ready. Tuxes, suits are totally appropriate. We want people to feel comfortable, have a great time, and just join us to celebrate ringing in the new year and hear a little bit about VARC.
All right, sounds great. Elizabeth, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back at 6:51. Time for your morning news now. A non-Alaska man is dead following a crash Sunday night. According to the Vernon County Sheriff's Office, a deputy discovered a pickup truck that had gone off State Highway 56. The driver, 43-year-old Paul Craig, was trapped inside the vehicle. The truck was severely damaged, and Craig had to be extricated. Officials believe he was the only person inside the truck at the time of the crash. It remains under investigation. Wisconsin Republicans may abolish the bipartisan Wisconsin Elections Commission. That commission was created in 2016 to replace the nonpartisan Government Accountability Board. The commission has equal Republican and Democratic members, plus Administrator Megan Wolf. Republicans tried firing her over debunked election conspiracy theories. Democrats warn removing the Oversight Commission before major elections would severely disrupt voting across the state.
People continue to look backwards to 2020 rather than look forward to 2024. And I think it's important that we focus on 2024 because we are 11 months away from a very important presidential election. We need to make sure that we've got a nonpartisan oversight. I think our local clerks need to have guidance that they can trust.
Republicans would rather hand election oversight to the partisan Secretary of State's office, currently held by Eau Claire Democrat Sarah Godlewski. 38 states, including Minnesota, have a Secretary of State who oversees elections. Speaking of Senator Pfaff, he now has a seat on Wisconsin's Building Commission. The Onalaska Democrat joins La Crosse Assemblywoman Jill Billings on the bipartisan group that oversees state facility projects. Pfaff was appointed by new Senate Minority Leader Diane Hesselbein. The committee oversees building projects, but recently lost decision-making power over project approvals to the Republican-controlled Joint Finance Committee. Pfaff says this shift has stalled projects like the UW La Crosse Prairie Spring Science Center. He hopes the commission can still influence getting that project approved in the near future. According to the CDC, more than 150 people die every day from overdoses related to synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Now, money is on the way to help curb that staggering statistic in Crawford County. The Fentanyl Drug Test Strips grant will provide 6,000 fentanyl test strips for the Crawford County Sheriff's Department of Emergency Management to help first responders respond more effectively to potential overdose incidents and save lives. The initiative is part of a statewide effort by Wisconsin's DHS to distribute almost 150,000 test strips and kits. A La Crosse Retreat Center is recreating an iconic moment in the Christian tradition, the nativity scene depicting the birth of Jesus. It depicts the birth of Jesus at Bethlehem, known as the biblical incarnation of Jesus. Community members have been working on creating the scene. The Franciscan Spirituality Center hopes the painting connects people from all religious backgrounds.
I am a believer in Christ and the story of Christmas, and this being the story of the birth of Christmas of Christ is very important, and so yeah, it has deep meaning for me.
The mural is expected to be finished by December 15th. It'll be displayed on December 16th inside Viterbo's San Damiano Chapel. The public is welcome to help paint the Nativity mural. You can stop by the Franciscan Spirituality Center weekdays between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m.
As you head out the door this morning, our temperatures are into the 20s under cloudy skies and will continue to remain cloudy throughout the day with high temperatures approaching near the low 40s once again, along with a southwest wind at 10 to 15. Heading into tomorrow, we're still, well, not as cloudy, I should say, 48 degrees, but we will turn cloudy again, though, as we head into Friday and the weekend here on Saturday as well. Much colder, though, for the weekend into next week as highs drop into the 30s, our lows into the 20s and 30s.
All right, take a look at this one smooth criminal. Police in New Jersey had to chase down a pig that got loose near Philadelphia. Not exactly your typical police pursuit. While it isn't clear exactly how the pig escaped or why, we do know his name, Albert Einswine. When the officers did finally manage to wrangle him, they returned him to his owners. Last month, a pig in Pennsylvania named Kevin Bacon went on the run. The Footloose actor heard about it and took to social media, asking the pig to return home. Kevin Bacon, the pig, played hide and seek with authorities for nearly 2 weeks.
Wow.
Oh, I thought that was 2 hours. 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Before he was finally caught and sent home.
My
Wow.
goodness.
Who
Wow. Yeah, that's insane. You know, poor pig. He was
Poor
just trying
pig.
to escape, you know.
He was trying to get to greener pastures,
Yeah,
as they
you know
say.
what I mean? Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for watching this morning. We will see you back here at noon. Have a great day.